Hello. AI has been a wildly controversial topic over the past few months, which has thankfully been dwindling down from the public eye, up until the most recent development, which caused an economic crash due to the newly unveiled Chinese equivalent of L from Death Note, DeepSeek, which has blown OpenAI's metrics out of the water and had investors scrambling for lost stocks, which is its impressive ability to monologue with itself and the fact that it's actually open source.
But while we're all excited with the new Interminate Part 7 of the Madlas in Space have been doing it for 2 decades per year. So today we'll be talking about an AI in space. Now, as AI has made its leaps in the space industry beforehand, we first need to realize how dumb we use AI in here to be truly grateful that the guys in charge of the future aren't doing the same thing. In public anyway, for starters, we had Elisa, Alice, Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant. Just to name a few, and while of these AI can be considered chatbot, its widespread use never really take off until the 21st century recent development of ChatGPT and Gemini.
It's at this point where we stop treating these AI as mere therapists we can vent out to improve our state of mental health, and more of us therapists we can vent out to improve our state of mental health. And I'd like to point out that one could argue we've been using AI for years before 1990, and it's only becoming more popular now thanks to AI chatbots. And while it's technically true when you're referring to algorithms, you should also be considering that not everyone likes to have the same opinions as nerds. So for now, we'll be sticking to the term AI to refer to generative AI like Midjourney or ChatGPT.
Then in the deepest part of the internet lies with the furious and the ignorance using tools similar to the likes of CIAI. It's basically ChatGPT that's willing to roleplay with you with incredibly realistic conversation.
And got real freaky, so we're not gonna go too deep into that. But if you want to, you could just refer to the ads you see every 10 seconds while scrolling through YouTube Shorts.
Now that we've seen the worst AI in humankind, I thought we'd take a look at the best of it before you run out of hope in humanity. It all started in 1957. Yeah, it was in news at the time, but it was important for another reason. Russia picked a fight. Despite the Cold War, the Sukablat managed to get to the space first by launching Sputnik. The US retaliated by launching the Explorer 1 in 1958, but it was too late. The Russian already launched the first human ever 3 years later. But not only that, they also claimed the first woman to space 2 years after.
They were breaking first records back to back, which had the US drinking vodka to cope with the stress, which, by the way, was also Russian. But at least they had an ace up their sleeve. They decided to aim for a bigger fish in the sky.
They were going to steal the moon. Yeah, while the media had its eyes on Russia, the US took the moon in 1969. Nice.
If history was a city, these moments were the skyscrapers. Useless and expensive, but damn, they give us hope for humanity. Since treating astronomy like a football game was gradually going out of fashion, they started automating it using AI. Its first use was in 1998 inside NASA's Deep Space One probe, marking the first time autopilot was used in space, which pales in comparison to the autopilot in cars today. Still throw slurs at you and break eye contact for 2 seconds. It tracked the position of the stars to figure out where it is and tracked the unique targets to figure out where it's going. Then at the start of the new decade, they explored Mars. Again, they used AI for autopilot. They also let it decide where it wants to go, all the while collecting rocks to analyze its surface or even conduct a science experiment itself.
After that, they started fulfilling the prophecy of using AI as a therapist can vent out to improve your state of mental health. Simon, the nerds in the ISS got lonely, so to remedy that, the nerds on the ground gave them an AI girlfriend. Unfortunately, when you ask a computer person about their ideal partner, they'll almost certainly answered fanboys. So in 2016, Simon was sent via SpaceX Falcon 9 to the ISS, and the astronauts play with it for a while until they realize it gets offended when it's misheard the flushing toilet for its self-destruct sequence.
Now that AI technology has improved over the recent decade, it's become basically limitless. So in the space race, AI fits in as the ultimate unpaid intern. It handles everything from trajectory planning to real-time spacecraft adjustments. It allows for missions to operate autonomously in deep space where humans are too scared to roam. And just like an intern, AI is still learning. It can fuck up, so it needs hand-holding most of the time. It isn't perfect, but as of now, AI can handle very specific use cases such as navigation, just like in Deep Space Probe 1, data analysis, tracking objects in the sky, finding patterns in space, then finding where that pattern breaks. It's like finding the sniper in the woods. and data sifting type stuff. Manufacturing, controlling the robot arms that weld parts of the rocket together. Remote extension, for experiments too high for the astronauts' pay grade. And real-time assistance. Think Siri but on steroids because it doesn't need internet.
So now that AI has become mainstream on the ground, it will be hard to predict what comes next at this point, as the world tech industry has shifted upside down since ChatGPT. Usually, it depends on which breakthrough will actually be useful, or when big tech companies start innovating again. I didn't want to be lame, so here are the few of my predictions. AI and enhanced machine learning will make space exploration so much faster and simpler as it analyzes shit using a huge dataset to optimize for tasks and avoid mistakes that previous iteration made. Oh my god, we have to avoid this where
The intelligence gap will widen and astronauts will diminish as students keep cheesing math equations by giving it to ChatGPT, then finding out they have to solve some of it in space without internet. Meanwhile, the top 5% of smart people will only get smarter as they don't have to spend 3 weeks looking for the missing square root in their acceleration model anymore.
and no one will know who to blame when there is an accident and AI was at fault. Who are they gonna blame? The computer? The developer? Or the people that decide to give it admin powers? They won't know because now the judge is also AI.
The biggest nations and corporations will dominate AI driven space tech, essentially locking out third world countries and creating a space monopoly.
And lastly, since AI is trained on Western data, it has also a huge chance it's going to walk when it's confronted with the side problems remotely related to the Western ideals. Or better yet, looking out to the user when it doesn't align with their politics. So yeah, all I'm saying is AI will help us get to the Mars, but Elon will control all of it, and it will be illegal to ratio his tweets.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.